You might be wondering why this park is on fire and why that's actually a good thing. And I'm here to tell you why. It's very smoky and foggy out here. It's getting hard to breathe. You can see the smoke going all the way down the street even. We're gonna try to get as close as we can to the fire.
Because it's fire, it's like ultra strict.
Yeah. We gotta go way back because this started the night before the controlled burn. Okay, we're in nature today. How do you feel about that? Did you miss me? I know I was just here last week, but did you miss me? A little smooch for you. Here's what we're talking about today. We're talking about fire, about how I investigated a controlled fire in my city. See, I was going about my night. I sat down on the couch. I started scrolling, as I usually do, you know. I know we all scroll. I know you scroll. Maybe you're scrolling right now. It's how you're watching me. Enjoy your scroll. So I was scrolling and... Sorry, there's a bug. Get out of here. Oh my lord. Okay, I'm lathered up in bug spray. Where was I? Scrolling. So I was scrolling at night, the night before the burn, and I see the city that I live in. It's called Mississauga. So I see the city of Mississauga post on Instagram saying that there's a controlled fire tomorrow at 11, blah, blah, blah. And they put like a little blog post. So because I'm a millennial and I don't like doing things on my phone, I got up, went on my computer, hacker mode. So I opened up this blog post, started reading it, and found a little media contact. Then I was like, your boy is a Smurfluencer.
Top 5 Smurfluencer lines.
Mom, I'm a Smurfluencer. I'm gonna contact media and see what they could do for me. But I sent an email saying like, if I wanna go, blah, blah, I wanna cover it for my social media, small content creator. You know.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Greetings, I'm inside now. You like that? Giving you the inside-outside special, you know? Patent pending. Anyways, at this point, I didn't really have a plan. I mean, I had concepts of a plan.
I have concepts of a plan.
But I didn't really have a plan. We're about 12 hours before the burn. If I missed it, I would have no video, no story, no coverage, nothing for you to watch, nothing to show for. This had to work out. Despite not having a real plan, I still felt confident. I was at the wildfires a couple years ago in BC, and those were like the worst wildfires that region has seen in the last 100 years or so. I was there on work producing a video for someone else's YouTube channel, and we managed to sneak in the fire. I mean, we totally did not sneak in the fire. Safety third. Unfortunately, the video is no longer on YouTube. Point is, I was no stranger to just showing up and improvising on the day. So even though we didn't have a real plan, it was all gonna come together at some point, right? 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 The next morning. The next morning, I called them at 8 a.m. I go straight to voicemail, and they say that the office hours start at 9. So I'm like, okay, I'll wait. I'm patient. I'm chill. I wait till 9, pick up the phone. Call them again. They're like, oh, it's best to contact us by email. I know the burn starts at 11, so I was planning to leave my house at like 10:30. So 10 comes around and I'm sitting there refreshing every 5 minutes, and I finally hear back. However, they said that I can't be on the burn site. So I responded saying I was planning to be across the street from the park and kind of film across the street, have it behind me. They said, that's totally fine. And I asked to talk to somebody, and this guy keeps rambling on, am I right? How about I tell you the plan instead? Because not only do I have a master plan, but I have some tricks up my sleeves. And I know I'm not wearing sleeves right now, but it's my metaphorical sleeves. Yeah, tricks up there. Metaphorical sleeves, of course, but tricks. You see them? Okay, I'm sorry. I know that was bad. Please don't leave the video. So here's the plan. As you know, I was allowed to film across the street, which is good. I could still get coverage. I was planning on making short form content from this excursion as well, and I figured that I could do all my lines. I could even shoot bits for this video from across the street. So once I'm done filming everything across the street from the burn, I could check that off my list, and that's when the real plan goes into motion. My plan was to cross the street and see if I can get close to the burn, maybe even talk to somebody, interview a couple firefighters, and don't forget that we still have an interview with a city official, and that's gonna be a major key to making this documentary. I know I said I wouldn't be flexing credentials here, but I did get in the wildfires in BC, and that was an evacuation zone. I mean, how hard could it really be to get into a controlled burn locally in my city. Should be an easy peasy job, right? Psst. Hey, you. Come a little closer. A little more. Just a tiny bit more. Do you even know what a controlled burn is? See, wildfires start when there's too much fuel around. Like, if there's a lot of wood, this would be a recipe for a wildfire. Could be thunder, could be heat, could be whatever, could be human caused, doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, it's a matter of fuel supply. If there's a surplus of fuel, which in this case is wood, then the fire threat is higher. So what we've been doing for years now is that we've been burning down this excess fuel to maintain a lower fire threat. So if I burn this wood behind me, then there's less wood, therefore I'm less susceptible to fire. That's kind of the idea of the controlled burn. Now that you know what a controlled burn is, we're getting right into action. This is me, the day of the fire. Take it away, past Slowmar. I'm here to capture this controlled fire firsthand and give you behind the scenes exclusive footage. Today, I'm at the Jack Darling Memorial Park where they're setting a controlled fire to prevent wildfires in the future. Every 4 years or so, these controlled fires have to happen to maintain the long grass and make sure that the threat of a fire is at a minimum. This phenomenon of controlled fires is a way for us to manage long grass and reset the ecosystem. Just months ago, LA faced one of its worst wildfire seasons. Now my city is setting this fire on purpose. I'm proud of my city for doing something like this. Turns out, fire is not always the enemy, it could actually be a good thing. Are we still gonna get in trouble if we cross, you think?
I don't know, but...
It's very smoky and foggy out here. It's getting hard to breathe. You can see the smoke going all the way down the street even. I do not envy anybody in this neighborhood having to deal with all the smoke. We've only been here for about 20 minutes and it's already hard to breathe. I should have brought some masks, to be honest. So the controlled burn is on the other side and we're technically not allowed to be there. We're gonna try to get as close as we can. Currently crossing the street where we're not supposed to be. Let's see how this goes. I'm really hoping to get a shot with the sign that says controlled burn, but we'll see if they let us. It would be extra nice if I could talk to somebody. I'm scared that as soon as I talk to them, the camera's gonna die and then it's gonna be like awkward. Yeah, I'm gonna ask first. Film me like discreetly though. Sorry to bug you. I know we're not supposed to be here. Could I be next to that sign or is it past this point? No.
We'd prefer you to not go past this point.
Absolutely.
That's just the rules.
I'm not trying to break any rules.
Everything's on fire, so it's gotta be a little strict about it.
Absolutely. Perfect. Thank you so much. Not past this. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna try to get the sign from here and we'll call it a day, I guess. Unfortunately, it does look like we cannot get any closer or get a shot with the sign, but it is what it is. Yeah. I guess this is the end of the road for us or something. I'm gonna try to do some stuff with my Zoom on my phone. That might be better. But I think just film me film is your job right now.
Have you guys ever seen a controlled burn before?
No, first time.
First time, yeah.
Yeah, I was actually in BC last year during the wildfire season. Yeah, I was like right in there, so.
Oh, what were you guys getting up to? Social media stuff?
Yeah, social media stuff, yeah. I tried contacting the city for media access, but they wouldn't let us in.
Because it's fire, it's like ultra strict. Like,
yeah.
It sucks, I know, but you gotta like take the safety like beyond seriously. So.
Do you mind if we talk to you about this?
Of course.
I think one of the cameras might die on us, but we'll get what we can.
Talk to you about it, and then you can talk to them.
Okay, that's great.
So this is called a controlled burn, like it says in the sign, or a prescribed burn is like what it's called. So essentially what we have is a big prairie land.
So the controlled burn is happening on the park grounds.
Park grounds, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. That kind of like elbow sort of shape there is where the burn's taking place. So that little elbow there's lots of woody stuff happening here and over here, but it's all open in that kind of brownish colored area.
And that's all the long grass.
That's exactly it, yeah. So it's like, that's the prairie land aspect of it. Essentially what happens with prairie systems is the roots go super deep, and so they don't die when the burn happens, which allows the plant to continue to grow after the burn occurs. but the burn gets rid of all the non-essential stuff that does have its growth plates above ground.
Yeah, and that stuff used to be part of nature with like thunder and stuff like.
Exactly, and so like it's really hard now though with fire is kind of like you can't not deal with it and just let it burn naturally anymore because there's just too much other stuff going on, so many confounding factors, right? And we're trying to mimic what a natural system would. Yeah, we've got essentially a burn team in, we've got law enforcement in, and we've got the fire department in.
Okay.
All kind of working together to just control the scene and make sure that everything's under control. Along all the edges, you'll see the burn team going around with water and just dousing everything with water, making sure that the fire doesn't move the way we don't want it to move. Paying attention to things like the wind you can feel right now.
Is the amount of water, is that something that you know, or is that like a number, figure?
I don't think, it's more like, it's less quantitative and more qualitative.
Okay.
But as far as like exact values and stuff, it's all just kind of qualitative based on your feeling, their expertise, and what needs to happen.
And to my understanding, this happens every 4 years or so, is that correct?
It depends, right?
Okay.
When it's new, you kind of want to do it every year just to constantly burn away all the bad stuff while the good stuff can keep regenerating with those growth plates we mentioned before. Once it's more established, like every 3 or 4 years.
So do you know when the last time this was done?
I think it was a couple years ago, yeah.
Couple,
I think it was like
okay.
2 or 3 years ago. Yeah, but then once it's really established, like it can be like every 10 years or so. If it's like a savanna, which is more woody stuff, like more trees and everything, less prairie grasses, then you can do 15 years or so. Like it doesn't need to happen. It's based on the woody debris and like the woody species around.
And in terms of the mechanics of actually starting the fire, is that something we could talk about? Are we holding a lighter to the grass? Are we starting it with some gas? Like what's kind of the approach here?
Great question. So what we're doing, you know what, you ever seen like with beehives, like when they have these funny like fog machines, almost like smoke machines? It's similar to that with a long spout that you can see where the ash starts. It's just a line that they've created that goes all across.
Okay.
And it's just a small little spigot that just spouts out like a petroleum product of some kind, and then it just has a match near it that just ignites it as you go, and it's just kind of like a little flick of like lighter fluid.
I'm scared that as soon as I talk to them, the camera's gonna die and then it's gonna be like awkward. And that concludes our outdoor adventure for today, chat. This guy is still outside, but this other guy is, you get what I'm saying, right? One thing I want to say is I really want to thank that guy for taking the time to talk to us. I didn't even catch his name. He will forever be my unnamed hero. So thank you so much for giving me more information in the city, but more on that later. But that is not the end of our story. This is a story about how the city, we're not gonna say anything bad. We like the city. But here's what happened. So the email exchange, they kind of offered if I wanted to speak to someone. I was like, yeah, amazing. I didn't know if that meant in person or virtual or whatever. So in my response, I was like, I would prefer in person, but I could just do a phone call or something over Zoom. Listen, I know nobody cares about me. I'm a small creator. I was like, I'll do whatever you allow me to do. So they're like, yes, we'll give you an interview in person. I was excited. I was like, this will make a great video. I'll be able to talk to someone. Then they ask for a list of questions and I send them a list of detailed questions that I was gonna ask. I was hoping to kind of navigate the conversation naturally because I did have like points I wanted to hit on, whatever. I wrote it all down into simple questions. And at this moment, I had a feeling that as soon as I send my questions, I'm just gonna get a response in the email and this interview's not happening, but hopeful, still hopeful. We go a little more back and forth. I'm following up. And then at the end, they respond, answering my interview questions in the email, saying that they won't be able to give me an interview and here are the answers attached. I don't want to blame anybody for anything here, but it kind of felt like the answers were AI assisted, to say the least. Maybe somebody used ChatGPT to reformat it or something, which kind of hurt, you know, whatever. But again, I don't care. I get people don't care about me. Generic. I got none of that. We like the city. I'm still hopeful because there's one more thing that I could really use. You know what? There's one thing I really need from the city to make this content pop. Remember when I said I have a few tricks up my sleeves? My metaphorical sleeves, that is. Well, it's time for me to reveal the tricks in my sleeves. What I haven't shared with you is the day of the burn, while I was there at the park, there was a photographer and I think a videographer, but there was a media team there on site. Since I was in contact with the city, I had asked if they can connect me to any of these people or provide me any of the media that was captured on this day. And throughout the email exchange, they never explicitly said no. After I got the responses to my interview questions, I followed up again on the media. And then I waited and waited, and then I sent a follow-up, and finally, I got a response. I remember I was in the kitchen cooking something, and I get a notification on my phone, and I see it's my email exchange with the city. I was like, wow, the city sent media? That's awesome. I was all excited. I finished my lunch. I went upstairs, went to my computer, sat down, opened this email, checking the attachments, and it was an attached image, a single image. This entire exchange with the city resulted in me getting ChatGPT answers and one image. Yeah. I was devastated. We like the city. You know, I even sent a response to the one image, sent a dissatisfied email, and was like, oh, I was hoping for more. And you know what happened? Do you know what happened? They never responded. They just never responded to me. You know, out of spite, I haven't even used that image. Yeah, I'm not going to use that image. Or your ChatGPT answers. We like the city. I don't know. I like fire, so maybe I'll try to find more fires around me and go investigate them. I think that's all I got for you this week. A little fire video, but you know I'll be back next week, so yeah, do it. Please subscribe. I'll give you a little smooch. Hit that. Well, it's not there. The button's down there, but do what this tells you, but hit the button down there. Maybe like too. Ah! Bug just bit me. Can we talk about the political and economical state of the world right now? Yeah? If you just get up and teach them instead of handing them a frickin' packet, yo. A frickin' packet, yo. Okay, I gotta pee. Imagine peeing right now. Okay, I will go pee right there. I'm gonna pee behind the strip. Oh, buddy. That's a good pee right there. Oh, man. I've been wanting to pee for like the last 10 minutes. Oh, did it. Let me know in the comments below. Should we talk about the political and economical state of the world right now? Okay, I think I should stop this. Now that I'm done peeing. Joke's over. This camera died like 5 minutes in. You know, you think you're charging batteries overnight, and then you just don't. There's a mosquito trying to eat the GoPro. This thing has no blood. Get out of here. Okay. Thanks for watching.